So it's been 1 week officially since I swam the English Channel. So I just wanted to make a video of all of my thoughts during the swim because you guys have been following this journey since the training process that I've been posting videos about, and so I just wanted to make one final video for just to recap the whole swim basically. So if you're in the Facebook group, you probably saw that I kept posting oh, it's happening tomorrow, oh, it's canceled, oh, it's happening Saturday, oh, now I'm not swimming Saturday. And I was acting oh, this is part of the process. On Facebook, I was acting all calm. I was, in real life, I was not calm. Basically what happens is you have 9 days in your window that you can swim. And I was number 2 on the list. So the number 1 slot went on Monday, and my window didn't end until Sunday. So I was oh, I have lots of time. And I was supposed to swim Tuesday, and then that got canceled. I was oh, still have lots of time. And then a big storm came in, and then he was okay, it's looking like Saturday. And I was okay, that's fine, because Sunday is bad weather, so it literally has to be Saturday. But I was okay, it's fine, it's gonna happen Saturday. And then Friday night, we were having our pre-swim dinner at an Italian restaurant, and I get a text from Eddie that says, "Never mind, strong winds, we're not going tomorrow." And I was crushed. I walked out of the restaurant crying. And I just, in that scenario, I get moved to the end of the next list, which would put me at number 5 for the next week. And I'm if I didn't even have a time to go when I was number 2, what are the odds that they're gonna get a number 5 in the next week? I'm gonna be sitting around in Dover for weeks and still maybe not get to swim. And my parents were gonna have to go home and they would miss it completely. So I ended up just calling Eddie, and I was calling my pilot and saying, I know that the winds are going to be strong and maybe I won't make it. Actually, okay, I was basically saying yes, I won't make it. I know that. Just let me get out there. We all came all this way. Just let me at least swim and try it rather than just go home without even swimming at all. And so he was okay, I also have to watch out for your safety, but if it looks like it's okay at all, I'll put you out there. And he was but they update the weather at 6 a.m. So I'll tell you at 6 a.m. if we're meeting tomorrow. And if I say yes, that means we'll meet at 8. So I would just have a 2-hour warning to get ready. And I was okay, perfect. Yep, sounds good. So I went to sleep not knowing if I was going to swim the next day. And I set my alarm for 5:59, just stared at my phone. At 6 o'clock, he sends me a message and says, "It looks like it'll be bumpy at the start, but it looks okay. Let's do it. Please confirm if you got this message. See you at 8. And I was yes, confirmed, see you at 8. Within 3 seconds of him sending me the message. And I was in a hotel room with my family. I was guys, get up, we're going. And just started shouting. Everyone's getting up. We got all ready. We actually got ready too fast. We were just sitting in the hotel room after that. But at this point, I was still thinking I was just going out there just to get out there, and it was just going to be terrible weather. Then we actually got in the boat, and Eddie was yeah, it's actually looking like a really nice day. You got a nice day for this. And so I was wait, there's a chance, maybe I'll even make it. This still hadn't even occurred to me at this point. I was just so happy to be swimming. And we even got a nice little sleep in. The usual channel swimming time is 3 in the morning. And I got to start at 8 in the morning. The sun had already come out. So the water at the surface was getting kind of warm already. And I was being cold was almost as much of a fear for me as just not being physically able to complete it. So the fact that the water was almost feeling warm when I got in compared to what I've been training in, I was just ecstatic. I was let's do this thing. So started swimming, felt good, was feeling actually really good. The feeds were all going perfectly. I hadn't really practiced that very much. And when I do eat when I'm swimming, I just take my time and then keep going. But this was eating, drinking as quick as I could to not waste time. And yeah, my team was doing a great job. And Mel, who we brought on board to help me with that, was giving me instructions, and I could barely hear her. I had earplugs in, but everything was going really well, better than even I anticipated. And I thought I was going to be able to know how long I'd been swimming based on the feeding times being after the first hour and then every 30 minutes. So I thought I'd be counting that in my head. I just like wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden I was like, it could have been 4 hours, it could have been 6.5, I have no idea. Like, just down the ocean, can't see any land, it's fine, just swimming aimlessly. But I was honestly just having so much fun. And I mean, other than like I'm sure you saw on the videos, there were a lot of jellyfish. Somehow I didn't get stung. They said the first time I saw one, it looked like I levitated out of the water because I was just like, nope, like went over it so far. And then sometimes I would run into seaweed thinking that it was jellyfish and just like spaz out. But yeah, other than that, it was going super well. I felt plenty fueled. I wasn't even feeling hungry at all. And then got to the point about 10 hours in, and that's when they were saying, okay, we're near France. And at this point I was like, I was hoping I was near France. I didn't have a clue, and I was told not to look up. They told me don't look up because France looks really close even when it's not. But I could see Alexa like taking videos of me and then like scanning up to the coast, and I'm like, she wouldn't be doing that if you couldn't see it. So I'm like, I know I'm close. I gotta be close. And so I was just like, I actually could make it. But then I come up for a feed and Mel tells me, she's like, okay, you have to sprint. You have to sprint for like the next hour at least. And I had heard of this happening because basically when you get to France, the currents sometimes blow you way down off course and you end up having to like swim all the way back. So in my mind, I'm like, sprint or have to do a whole extra like 5K or something. And I was like, I'll take the sprint. And I still had it in me. Like my shoulders were kind of starting to hurt, but I was like, I know, like if this is the end of it, like I can do that, I think. So I felt like I was going so fast. When I watch the videos, I don't look like I'm going that fast. But I guess at the end of 10 hours, like how fast really can you swim? But I was just going as fast as I can, like trying not to look up, like don't look in front of you, don't look in front of you. And I couldn't even tell like how long I'd been sprinting. It felt like forever. But then I see that the little boat comes off the back, and that's the one that takes you in because the bigger boat, Anastasia, can't go all the way into the land. So I see him taking the little boat off, and I'm like, that means I'm almost there. And it was just like so many emotions. Like I could not believe it. And then finally Anastasia stopped. I'd been waiting for them. I'm like, guys, just leave me. That means I'm close. And so Anastasia stopped and I started swimming in. And finally I was like looking up more. I was like, I think I'm allowed to look up now. And sure enough, I could see like the ramp that I was going to end on. And I was just like, I'm almost there. And I got there and I was able to stand, and it felt so weird after swimming for that long. It felt like I was going to fall over. But I just like got up and like looked around. There were like a few straggling people over there just like kind of looking at me, but I was just like, yes, like threw my arms in the air. And then on the little boat ride back, I like started crying a little bit. I was just like, this is not real. Like today did not happen. 'Cause it's just like, for like 6 months, it was like everything that I was training for, everything that I was thinking about. Like, I'm sure everyone who hung out with me anytime recently is so annoyed of hearing about this swim. But it's just amazing that finally, after all of that training, like you just think back to those mornings at like 5 a.m. when I would wake up to go to the train station to take a 2-hour train to swim in a freezing cold lake for just 2 hours because that's all I could stand before I would almost go into hypothermia, and then take a 2-hour train back to get to work in time, and like all those Saturday nights that I had to miss all of the fun social activities because I was in whatever random Chinese city swimming in a freezing ocean with some old Chinese men. Like just everything is like finally worth it. Like it was just such an amazing feeling. And I'm just so glad that like Alexa videoed everything. Shout out to her for videoing everything and just keeping everyone like in the loop. It was so cool that like everyone could follow me, and even though I couldn't read your messages, like she was writing some of them on the board, and like I knew that everyone was cheering for me, and like they would tell me that everyone's cheering for me, and it just like it really helped to like get me through it. And also huge shout out to like Mel, who we had on our boat crew. She was awesome. Like she kept me going and told me motivating things, told me like that the jellyfish were the kind that don't sting you, even though they definitely would have stung me, but like it kept me from like freaking out. And yeah, Alexa for being on the boat and helping and encouragement and filming, and my dad for mixing all my drinks and being on the boat, and I mean my parents for coming all the way over for this swim. And my mom wasn't on the boat, but she was the MVP because she made the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like that was my favorite feed of the entire however many feeds that I had was Mom's PB&J. But yeah, so thank you for everyone, also for everyone who donated and just for following along, and encouragement really means everything to me. A lot of people have asked what's next. I'm trying not to think about it because like this time after my events is when I sign up for these things that I'm not ready for. Like I think I signed up for the English channel right after my Shanghai half Ironman. So I'm trying to just like chill and enjoy Europe and not think about it. But when I think of what's gonna be next, I will let you guys know. Thank you.